В света има може би само няколко души, които са били членове на вътрешния кръг на Ал Кайда, които са работили за ЦРУ и британското външно разузнаване МИ-6 и които са живи. И днес ще ви срещнем с един човек с необикновена съдба, преминал през невероятни житейски перипетии, чистокръвен датчанин, израснал в почтенна християнска среда, отрекал се на 21 години от вярата си, приел исляма и работил усърдно за Ал Кайда като неин агент. Преминал след това на другата страна като агент, първо на датското, след това на британското разузнаване и накрая на Централното разузнавателно управление на Съединените щати. Внедрен дълбоко в Ал Кайда, той разкрива много от плановете им и съдейства за ликвидирането на терористи, търсени по целия свят от западните служби. Предлагали са му по $1 милион, ако посочи местонахождението на някои от най-търсените от Съединените щати ислямисти, като Насер Ал Хайши, бившия личен секретар на Осама Бин Ладен, Ибрахим Ал Асири и Касим Ал Райми. През май 2012 година, след 5 години безумно надпреварване с съдбата, се отказва от кариерата си в специалните служби и потъва в неизвестност. Предполага се, че се укрива в Великобритания. Една изключителна съдба, един живот на ръба на бръснача, в който всеки момент можеш да се подхлъзнеш. И искам да ви прочета част от книгата му «Моят живот в Ал Кайда», издадено от издателство Изток-Запад, пусната вече в продажба, която ме заинтригува особено много и която прочетох на един дъх с удоволствие. Но да ви кажа някои от пасажите, които ми направиха впечатление. Половин десетилетие се бях движил напред-назад между два свята и две самоличности, когато една грешна фраза можеше да ми струва живота. Бях сменял самоличността си в залите за заминаващи и пристигащи на летищата по света. Пътувах между атеизма и крайния ислям, между английския и арабски език, тениските и таубите. Между това да бъда агент на западното разузнаване и заклет член на Ал Кайда. И докато останалите пътници накланяха седалките си и си пускаха филми по време на полет, моят мозък винаги работеше съсредоточен върху предстоящата мисия или в усилие да запамети всеки детайл от току-що приключената операция. Животът ми зависеше от това да съм на щрек. И този начин на живот ме беше довел до ръба на срив. Години наред бях движен от нуждата да спра следващия терористичен акт, от тръпката на шпионската игра и от приятелството с моите ръководители. И един много интересна мисъл. Имах късмет, но късметът има свойството да се изчерпва. Добър вечер на Мортен Сторм. Good evening, Мортен. Welcome to our program, Не се страхувай, which means don't be afraid on Bulgarian. We are supporting we are supporting people who are not afraid to talk openly and uncover the truth. This is the first time ever as an ex-Al Qaeda, ex-CIA, ex-MI6 agent speaking to a Bulgarian television and describing his intelligence experience. Shall we go ahead?
Indeed.
So, in 97 at 21, you were 21 at that time, you became a Muslim and changed your name from Morden to Murad. Why? What was the reason?
I think I was in an identity crisis. Many Western European in the north, like north of Scandinavia, north of Europe, we lack some kind of identity belonging and cultural belonging. And for me, Islam was some kind of substitute and answer to this. I was seeking to belong somewhere, as my family was not there to help me for this kind of thing. So, unlike in Bulgaria, where you are very cultural oriented. You are very focused on your culture, identity, and family unity. Unfortunately, it's not the same in the north of Europe.
So 10 years later, you switched from Al Qaeda side to the Western one. Why?
In my life, I've been seeking answers to where I belong to. So after 10 years as a fundamentalistic Muslim, a practicing Muslim, who was very dedicated to my cause, I wanted to go and fight jihad in Somalia, to join with the the Somalian Union Court, Islamic Union Court. Fortunately for me, it didn't happen. It was prevented due to the invasion by the Americans and the Ethiopian air forces to Mogadishu. For that reason, I couldn't go. It triggered me to question my religion and my faith, which I didn't do for 10 years, because according to Islam, if you question anything from it, you are no longer a Muslim. So I dared to question after 10 years, and I found contradictions within the Quran. I studied them for 2 weeks, and you might think 2 weeks is not a long time, but it is actually, because I spent almost like 20 hours a day researching contradictions. And Allah in the Quran, He challenged, if you find any contradiction in this book, it will not be for me, i.e., it will be man-made. And I found the contradictions, and it wiped away my faith. I realized that I was on a very dangerous path, and I wanted to fight, because I choose now to not be a Muslim anymore. And according to Islam, apostates must be executed and killed. So I wanted to fight for the freedom that I believed in, that everyone have the rights, the human rights, to choose whatever they want. But this is not allowed in Islam. So I wanted to fight Islamic terrorists. I don't have anything against Muslims, but I have something against Islamic terrorists. So I wanted to dedicate my, I could say, some kind of repentance to the universe, that I was potentially a dangerous person in the past. So for 6 years, I joined up with the Danish intelligence, the British services, MI5, MI6, and the CIA. And I managed to work at the highest level ever in the war on terrorism. I had an exhibition in Washington Spy Museum. This summer, I will have another exhibition, permanent exhibition in Denmark, as one of the most important spies in the war on terrorism.
Okay. What is your most risky experience during the Al Qaeda period?
There was a few. So just to clarify, I was never Al Qaeda as a Muslim, but I was a Muslim fundamentalist, because jihad is a part of Islam. So Al Qaeda is just an organization, but everyone who is a practicing Muslim believe in jihad. So it's not that I was a member of the organization. I became a member as an agent. I had to swear allegiance, because that was the only way to infiltrate Al Qaeda. But I had a few dangerous situations where one of the worst one was my second last mission, where I had airstrikes and artillery from tanks, and the bombs, and the soldiers from the Yemeni government don't know that I am a spy, so they will kill me equally to the terrorists that they're trying to aim for.
What was the most dangerous operation as a CIA agent or MI6?
I had two dangerous ones. The first one, the one where I physically was in danger, was when I went down to meet Nasser al-Wahishi, who was the deputy manager of Al Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. I had a USB stick where I recorded the CIA. I had a meeting in Copenhagen where the CIA admitted I played the highest role in the assassination of Anwar al-Awlaki. but that was my only evidence, and I had it in my North Face backpack. So we then went down to this place to meet with the terrorists, and I forgot my bag in the car, and he drove away with it. And I thought, I said, shit, they're gonna find this evidence.
You're lost.
And they're gonna need to execute me.
Yeah. You thought you were lost.
Yes, but they returned it. They never made a security check. So I was really, really lucky.
Yeah.
So
the covert operations, the intelligence, the spying actions may look rather romantic from outside. But how dirty is their other side?
Yeah. Wow. It's really difficult because you have to play, you have to keep your role. Look, I was not a Muslim for this time, so I have to pretend I was a Muslim. I have to be careful when I lived a normal life in Wales. I used to live in North Wales. I have to be a father for my children, make sure they didn't become radicalized because of my cover. I had to be a husband to my wife. I had to pretend to the Muslims I was a Muslim, and to the radicals that I was a radical. And it was really crazy. And then at the same time, I was an agent. And I was also a taxi driver. I was a lorry driver. I was everything in one time. And I was a survival instructor, traveling to the north, to the Arctic Circle, to Borneo jungle in Malaysia, to do courses and survival things, just to make a cover. I even went to Kenya to make safari camps, to pretend to prove that or excuse my traveling from Europe to Africa and from and my travels around. It was really stressful, and sometimes I forgot who I was. I could go into an airport in Qatar, in the Doha airport, and I would forget where I'm going because I forget myself. So
you have been working for 3 Western agencies, CIA, the MI6, and the Danish intelligence.
Yeah, actually 4. I also worked for the MI5. So not only because MI6 operates abroad from the outside of the United Kingdom, and I was also operating within the United Kingdom. So I was working also for the MI5. Yeah, so I was Magnus Ranstorp, who is he's the Swedish leading counterintelligence expert in the world. He say this is unheard of. He talked about me in a CNN documentary. He said this is unheard of. Nobody have done like this. He never heard about this. I was making hundreds and hundreds of agents busy with my work.
On which side?
Because I'm delivering information.
Yeah.
And not only I was a frontline agent, like on the front line, I also used to educate their own agents. So when people came, I would teach them about the various ideologies for the groups, and so I was really, really busy.
Yeah. In the intelligence community, there is a feeling that it is becoming more powerful than the diplomatic service and even the political leadership. Is it true?
It depends on which intelligence service you're talking about. Because if we talk about the CIA, yes, they have a big role. Sorry?
I'm speaking about the best.
The best is definitely, you have Mossad in Israel, you have the CIA, you also have the MI6. They are absolutely the top 3 intelligence services in the world. Then you have the more, they say, dirty ones, like from the Russians, who do the dirty job, and the Chinese. But for sure, the 3 best ones have a very big influence on the political agenda. The political decisions in the world.
Sometimes it seems that they are prevailing the political decisions. Their influence is growing.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah. Are there many sleeping cells of Al Kaida or other Islamic groups in Europe?
There is, and now that you see the conflict is happening in Gaza, you will see more and more lone wolf attacks, like with the knife or cars, or it will be more present. And I don't hope that Bulgaria in the past had also experience in Burgas with the Hezbollah, the Shia Muslims who blew the tourist bus with Israeli tourists. And I'm fear. I spoke to the Bulgarian services about this. I say you will see more racial attack on justified if Islam, Jews and American tourists, or maybe synagogues or cultural centers. So this is exactly what is happening in Europe, in the Western Europe, but it doesn't mean it will not happen in Bulgaria.
Yeah. You have been proposed $1 million for the information of whereabouts of some Al Qaeda leaders. What did you do? Did you get the money?
I didn't get the money. No, I did my work. They wanted to execute. The CIA wanted to. The plan was to assassinate me on my last mission in Yemen in May 2012. Excuse me, So they wanted to assassinate me to avoid me talking to you and to avoid paying the bounty for these people that I have been involved to assassinate myself. And the reason is that I've been told, the reason is that the Danish government is not allowed, the Danish intelligence is not allowed to assist in the assassinations of civilian targets. And Al Qaeda is considered, according to Danish law, to be civilian because they don't have a uniform on. So for that reason, I had to die. And he cheated me for my money. Today, while we're talking, me and you, I am actually listed on a terrorist watch list. I cannot travel outside of the EU. This is the way the CIA say thank you to me.
Well, look, I'm also in the business. Business is not so risky and much more profitable as the covert operations are. But still, some people prefer working in the dark as an intelligence man. What is the challenge? Could you describe it? The challenge being an agent, a spy.
The challenge?
Yeah.
The challenge, I think, now that I look back on my life, is to move on from my past. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what I want to do. I'm in a vacuum right now. And I've been this for many years. Before, I used to do a difference that I couldn't, I felt I was part of it. I did something good, something meaningful, and something very important. After this, the intelligence services leave you. They don't know anything about you. I had to fight 4.5 years in the Danish court to win a compensation case and a pension against the Danish intelligence. If I didn't do it for 4.5 years, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have anything. They wouldn't help me. So it's this you develop when you work as a spy and agent for this. It's such a high level. You become a family with your colleagues, and even your colleagues abroad, the ones you cooperate with, like the British and Americans and the others. You become like some kind of small family, and then suddenly they just disappear. Well, and there's no contact. So there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of feeling of betrayal. It's very painful. Today I'm suffering a lot from PTSD, and which make my daily life very difficult for me. And I have no help for this. I have no help.
Well, but you did. You produced something which is very interesting. Once again, thank you so much, Morten, about this very
I am the one
interesting
who thank
conversation.
you. Can I say one thing?
Yes.
I came to Bulgaria. I must say that I am absolutely fascinated about this culture you have, your history, your beauty, the natural beauty here. I am very honored and I'm very grateful to be in your country. And if any chance there will be any conflicts with this, I will always be here to protect, like I did in Denmark.
Thank you so much. I appreciate what you said for Bulgaria. Thank you, Morten.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Thank you.
You
Bye.
too. Take care. И така, това беше, драги зрители, разговора с Мортен Сторм. Човек с много интересна съдба, описана пак в тази книга, която тя малко се чете като роман, но се чете на един дъх. И от нея може да разберете много от нещата, които се случват зад кулисите в съвременния свят, защото това, което виждаме по медиите и което четем по медиите, не винаги е това, което става на самия фронт. Какъв ще е фронта, вече е друг въпрос. Но нещата, които се случват зад кулисите, са много интересни, много трудни за решаване, изискват светкавична реакция в някои случаи. И нашия гост е бил един от хората, които са се занимавали именно с това. Затова ми беше много интересен, предполагам и на вас. А сега благодаря за това, че бяхте с нас. Приятна вечер и можете винаги да гледате предаването, както в нашия канал в YouTube, така и на сайта ни, така и на много места. Надявам се, че предаването ви е харесало, надявам се, че ви е било интересно. Желая ви да бъдете здрави, да не се страхувайте и приятна вечер.